I'm sitting here watching this Mets game against the Red Sox, and it's getting worse. This whole thing with the Mets is getting worse.
The game's not even close to over.
It's over. The Mets have been mathematically eliminated.
There's time for a comeback.
What, in June?
Well, I mean, I shouldn't say there's always time for comebacks unless you're in my batter 5. Hey, everybody, welcome to SwingBadder. I am your host, Brendan.
Nice transition.
I just arrived in lovely Alabama because I am scouting for Mason for campus to contracts. Whatever. Anyhow, SwingBadder is always a fun time, and we are about to get into it. I have listed my batter 5 of the week, which is very, very easy this week. I really want to thank it to the Major League Baseball scheduling, as well as the 5 teams that like to tank every week. You make my job so easy. So starting off with number 1 as I go through my list, and you guys can interrupt me whenever you feel like, but the Baltimore Orioles had the perfect week. They were 0-6, and they fired their manager. And are we at the elimination of Baltimore for the playoffs? I think it's too soon. However, I want to give you one tidbit of a player. Kyle Gibson started this week. He came back from something. I'll call it an injury, emotional trauma, whatever it may be. He started a game against the Diamondbacks. And I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the Rockies. I'm confused. He played against the Nationals. He left the game after 2/3 of an inning and giving up 6 runs. And Charlie Morton came in, to my excitement, because we've been following Charlie Morton because he's been playing so well for this year. And he proceeded to get them out. And I think he only ended up allowing 1 or 2 runs for the year. So Baltimore had a lot of fun this week.
For the year or the game?
Oh, for the game. For the game. Thanks. I'm all over the place right now. Yeah, for the year.
You need a moment? Is Alabama getting the best of you?
It is getting the best. I need to get out of here. I just got here. I need to leave.
The Orioles are a train wreck that has got a dumpster fire on the train headed towards a cliff, and there are no brakes. That firing Hyde is not even going to begin to solve the problems this team has.
No.
Nothing they did in the offseason has worked. Nothing. Everybody they have signed has collapsed. It is the whole thing. The only positive right now is Halladay is starting to hit, but it's an absolute train wreck. It's a train wreck of a team.
Well, my favorite notes of this is the team ERA is second to worst in the major leagues, only behind the Colorado Rockies with a 5.52 ERA on the season. And they're $162 million spent for a 15-30 record. And their perfect week goes down as number 1 for the batter 5. Moving on.
They're going to be lucky if they win 80 games this season.
Oh, I hope you're wrong. I keep thinking they're going to turn.
They'll be lucky if they see 70 games. 70 games. What's the over-under for them right now, Dad?
I keep thinking they can turn it around, but 15-30 is pretty bad.
Yeah.
They're on track for 60. They're on track for 60 games.
It's pretty bad.
They would have to really play well to get to 80 wins. I mean, really well.
They're 15th in payroll for Major League Baseball at $181 million cash outlet this year.
Did you see what Dad had to say really well twice to emphasize how good the Orioles? They had to play like not the Orioles. That's what they have to do.
Right.
So second place this week, and I thought they were going to get first. They were really trying for it all week. The Boston Red Sox. And the Boston Red Sox had one of those weeks that you just want to forget. They were 1-5 on the week, and the only game they won was against the Braves, where they came back in dramatic fashion, scoring 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th to tie it. And then Devers, Mr. Strikeout, comes up with Mr. Home Run, and he brings them to their 1 win of the week. They have $199 million spent. They are in second place. They're 23-25, much better than the Orioles. But a 1-5 week puts you on my list as number 2 of the batter 5.
Hey, listen, Devers is coming back from that really horrible start he had.
Mm-hmm.
He's He's been hitting of late. I don't think they're going to be on your list next week.
I would agree with you. There are teams that come in and out. I have to stop what we're doing. What is Dad eating? What are you eating, Dad? This sounds great.
I'm eating a protein bar. I need protein, man.
Why stop? Just
No, I just said we need to
just
what
just
do we
mute
need?
between chews. I mean, it's
No, keep it going. I'm just.
Well, it's better than chewing tobacco.
I don't know.
this. Okay, well, you know.
Well, you're in Alabama, where every other man.
Well, I don't know. Going to third place. This is
Wait, can we highlight Garrett Whitlock?
yeah.
As
You got
this is the catastrophic calamity, as it was said on the website Over the Monster. He's self-destructed, absolutely self-destructed. Surrendered the first of two Javier Baez 3-run homers. Javier Baez having a year, resurrecting himself, showing he was worth the Crow Armstrong trade.
and the contract he was given. Yeah, they were swept. Boston was swept by Detroit, which is nothing to be ashamed about. Detroit is a really good team this year. And the Braves, but the problem is how they got their one win. But they were looking at an 0-6 week right in the face, and they turned away from it. So that was a fun little game there. The A's. Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
We're talking about the Red Sox, and it'll come back to me. I just having a moment.
It's okay. Maybe digest the protein.
Maybe I overdid the protein. Maybe it just jacked me up.
Dad needs to he needs to start doing the Cuomo with the barbell.
Dad, you got to maybe mix in some creatine or something. Or
Yeah, maybe just a donut. Just balance it out.
Yeah, no.
if you sprinkle creatine and protein on a donut, does that make it a health food snack?
Sure.
So the A's came in third. We're moving down the list here. So first and second, they were also 1-5 this week. And they started the week off so well. They beat the Dodgers. And why I say that so well is the Dodgers.
They have a day off?
Nope. They beat the Dodgers handily. And then this is the best part about the A's week, just so you know how catastrophic they ended it. So they beat the Dodgers in the first game 11-1. They were 1-0 on the week. Proceeded to lose the next 5. And they followed that up on the week as a -23. So they started +10. The rest of the week, they went -33. Just so everyone knows what that looks like, which means
So sad.
5 losses in a row, and they got swept by the Giants after losing 2 to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers clearly smoked them pretty good. They have a pretty low payroll there with $75 million for a 22-25 record. And for those counting, that is only a half game behind the Boston Red Sox, which I believe it paid $120 million more than the A's this year. But the one thing I will also note is in the AL West, if Boston's in the AL West, they are solidly fighting for fourth because A's are now moving themselves out of the top 3 for contention there.
Well,
and then
the A's to be on pace for 84 wins is a massive accomplishment. You can have more wins than millions of dollars in salary. That's probably the efficient frontier, Dad, of like your team is now like you've hit like peak GM efficiency.
I'm just looking at the standings, and the amazement is that how mediocre and average the American League East and West are, and how strong the Central is in terms of records. Detroit has the best record in all of baseball. And also Minnesota, Cleveland, and Kansas City all have handsome winning records. And then you got teams like Texas can't get out of its own way, and they're only 2.5 games out of first.
Correct.
So
yes, all of this is truly noted. The East has been a very big disappointment. Coming in at number 4, and we always know they make the list. Although this week they almost got out of it. They were so close. They were trying to get one more win against the Diamondbacks. They just couldn't pull it off. They were 1-5 on the week. They were -16. This is the Colorado Rockies. They did get their 8th win. So again, hats off. That's a big deal. We're 8 wins into the year. They are 8-38, which again, if they were to get to 80 wins, I think playing really good is not the mantra. I think playing miraculously would be it. They won in dramatic fashion against the Diamondbacks. They beat and came back and beat them 14-12. So cementing what we know that they are. They can either pitch and then they hit on occasion, but their pitching is it's the worst in the league. They have the most runs, the highest ERA.
There's no excuse. They're just horrible. They scored 14 runs against the Diamondbacks. However, in the first and third games, they scored 0.
So it's a bookmark.
It's good to know when to strike.
Yeah.
Right.
They scored all their runs for the week on one day.
Well, it's just efficient, right? Then you can take the rest of the week off. You get your one win a week, and then you just coast. You want to hear this bit of trivia?
I would love it.
Sure.
Producer Eric shared this one today. Today I learned the Diamondbacks are 151-1 all time when scoring 12 runs. The one time they lost, the 2025 Rockies.
Yep.
The 8th win of their entire season happened. They broke up the undefeated stat.
Right.
Yep.
That is the wild. That's wild.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so the Rockies are 4th. Again, if you think about it, with an 8-win team finishing 4th on the week, that's a pretty good week for them.
Oh, it's a great week for them.
And the batter 5. So then we get to the 5th place team, and Todd, you brought them up last week, and they barely made it in. And I say barely because the Pirates overall have what I would say, they have elite pitching. They have very good pitching. They have terrible hitting. If you put this pitching staff on a lot of other teams, you're winning a lot more games. They finished the week 1-5. They had a -6 run differential, and they beat the Mets. The only win was a 4-0 shutout over the Mets, and they got swept by the Phillies, sadly. But every game was really close, down nail biter. So the Pittsburgh Pirates are 15-32. So the Orioles and the Pirates are in similar records. We all know nobody had those teams competing with each other. So that leaves the question on the batter 5 is, who will have a better overall record at the end of the year, the Pirates or the Orioles?
I had the Orioles and Pirates competing with each other because I thought the Pirates were going to win the Central.
That's how to answer a test question correctly with all the wrong information.
So who's going to have a worse record, the Pirates or the Orioles? I think it's got to be the Orioles, because the Orioles are a giant dumpster fire.
I just don't think they're that bad. They'll emerge. They'll have a losing record, but they should be better than Pirates.
Well, what happened after they fired Hyde? Because the team loved Hyde as the manager. They loved him. Because the GM of the Orioles is what's screwing all this up.
They didn't win last week, so it didn't help them. Their pitching, they were swept. They did it at the right time. If you're gonna fire your manager, you do it against a terrible team. They fired the manager and they played the Nationals and they got swept. So I don't know what to tell you. Here's where I'm at watching these two teams.
Seems to have really helped.
I believe the Pirates are going to end up with a better record because I am betting on the Pirates pitching over whatever I'm seeing with the Orioles, because the Orioles are a terrible staff when it comes to pitching. And that means you're going to lose games you could have won, and you're going to give away leads, and you're going to do things you're not going to be happy with. The Pirates are in games. They are in games. They just need a clutch hit here or there, and they will win more games. I feel the Pirates will end up with a better record. And if you were to say, hey, Pirates are going to do better than the Orioles, I would have been like, you're pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty nutty. That's my batter 5, guys.
Yeah. I don't disagree with it.
It's hard.
Only that the timing of it came at an odd time. Because Mets are going to lose this game against Boston.
I mean, yeah, they faced Boston after they had a really bad week, so that's always a bad time to face someone. I think there were some notables this week. I want to just do some shout-outs to some bad teams that did very well. The Nationals and Marlins, not even on the list. The Rangers had a really good week. Helps to play the Rockies.
Really loves a comeback.
And I have to give it up, the team of the week that nobody thought would be the team of the week. If you were going to say your batter 5, the Angels played the Dodgers. The Angels will be on the batter 5. The Angels swept the Dodgers, and the Dodgers ended up with a 2-4 record on the week. It were close to the batter 5, but the Angels were 4-2, nowhere close. Here's the funny thing. The Angels and the Dodgers were off by 1 run differential with those records. So the Dodgers were +5 and the Angels were a +6. Angels were 4-2, Dodgers were 2-4. Dodgers can score a bit of runs. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So
just a little bit.
So the Angels had a great week. So we had some teams that, again, this is what makes the batter 5 interesting when I follow this through the week. You'll have peaks and valleys in your season. Dad, we've talked about this. You've said that even the terrible teams have a 5-win week. That certainly was close to the case here for the Angels with 4 wins. But
Sure.
when I look at things like the Rockies, it is remarkable to me how consistent they are every week. There are other teams, like we would be killing the Orioles right now. We would be killing, there are a lot of teams we would be very upset with. I just think you have to put the Rockies in their own category.
That's the best, when somebody's so horrible that it distracts from the fact that you just don't even do your job. Like, I'm failing at my job miserably, and it doesn't seem that bad because I've got this guy over here who can't even walk straight. Like, I feel better about my life when that happens.
Because even the Chicago White Sox don't look that bad when you look at the Rockies.
Chicago White Sox are starting to assemble I think we've seen, I think we have seen the low point of the Chicago White Sox.
They only got 14 wins. Let's not get too excited.
Well, that's 6 more than the Rockies.
Well, yeah.
What did I tell you?
I mean, that's how it feels like the Rockies are very, very bad. The other team that I thought had a really poor week, and they're playing Baltimore. And I always look at these games and like, ooh, the Milwaukee Brewers had a really poor week. And now they face Baltimore, who also had a terrible week. Who is going to come out ahead? Well, a betting man would say bet against Baltimore. That's what it looks like. The other team that I've been very impressed with, they had a very slow start, but the Cardinals have been very impressive in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. Cardinals are coming back, and they're not horrible.
They are horrible. They are bad. Todd, did you want to go over your wonderful list?
I assembled a list of the you had the batter sports teams. I had the batter sports players.
Oh, yeah.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, I had some offensive players that really left some skid marks on the bed, so to speak, as they say. In no particular order. Jarren Duran of the Red Sox. And so the leadoff man is hitting 227, 250, 364. That's his slash line in the month of May. And so the folks in Boston, they're wondering if they should bench him or if they should even trade him. That being said, tonight he's looked like a genius, but he was an All-Star Game MVP. They're speculating at all. I mean, like, these are Boston local articles that are speculating about this guy, not happy with his performances and what he's doing. The second one I had was Kyle Farmer, and I know it's not nice to pick on the Rockies, but you had a really great opportunity to actually win a game. I know it's a huge accomplishment, but you had, it was the game where Dolomite was pitching, the no-hitter. Dolomite?
Dolander or something like that.
Zoolander and Dolomite. If you combine them, you get Dolander. So, Purple Row recap. They said Kyle Farmer grounds into a double play, ends the threat, ends the game with the bases loaded in the ninth. They end up with a 2-1 loss. It's a typical Rockies way to play, but I mean, the game-ending double play, it's like the signature image of the team right now.
When you play like a loser, they had that game down 1, bases loaded, 1 out, and double play. Yesterday, they're down 1 to the Diamondbacks. They get the bases loaded with 1 out in the ninth, and they don't score. A pop out and a line out, and they left them loaded again. Same situation. They can't get 1 run in.
Props to Purple Row had the line of the day when it comes to this. They said it's the hope that kills you. If there was anybody that was more batter sports, it was that.
Stop. Who is going to a Rockies game in the 7th, 8th, or 9th with hope? Is that their date? Is that their girlfriend that they came with to the game? Because hope is not part of the Rockies menu.
I don't know. At a certain point, you hit rock bottom. I saw Nicolas Cage in Leaving Las Vegas. I think he dies in that. So maybe.
Well, there's always that guy out there who wants some saint canonized, and he's looking for one more miracle. Mm-hmm. So he goes to the Rockies games looking for a miracle, but it ain't coming yet. It'll happen. The Rockies will steal the game from a good team, and maybe they'll do what the Angels did, sweep a good team, and then we're going to say, what?
Southside Sox runs a daily cold cat poll, and Andrew Vaughn keeps landing on it. They benched him on Sunday, so now they're talking about a demotion for this guy. So he got his OPS below 540, which, if you know anything about OPS, which is on base plus slugging, which is traditionally way above average. So if your slugging percentage is above 540, we would say, hey, congratulations on making the major leagues. But if your on-base percentage plus your slugging is 540, we got problems. I think it's like OPS at 540 is half that of Aaron Judge, at least.
I think it's more. You have to double it.
Less than
some. Yes. Yeah. Correct.
So, and then the lowest rated, one of the lowest rated defenders at second base is Christian Campbell for the Red Sox. So he's slumping. He got a breather. He was 4 for 51 when they sat him, batting 78 with 17 Ks over 12 games. His OPS was down 225 points. Boston Globe, one of the lowest rated defenders at second base. Man, when they describe that reason for benching you, welcome to the SwingBadder Club. The next one hurts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's got to be a Met.
Yeah, it's actually 2 Mets.
Ooh.
And one of them I'm really concerned about because he screwed up again tonight and it might have cost the Mets the game. And I said the phrase, he's got the yips. And I'm not kidding. Within 15 seconds, Keith Hernandez goes, he's got the yips. I'm front-running Keith Hernandez right now. Pete Alonso. In the game against the Yankees, high stakes Subway Series, big deal. All he's got to do is make a throw home. Chances are he's not getting the guy at a head start, but pushed the throw, led to a throwing error. 6 runs end up scoring. Cody Bellinger ends up with a grand slam. All he has to do is throw home, tag out, get the inning over. Pete Alonso screws that up. Tonight, all he had to do was soft toss to Kodai Senga, for a force out at first to end the inning, soft tossed it about 8 feet over his head.
Ooh. Now, can we go back to yesterday? You said pushed it. I don't think you're accurately describing this because I watched this live. He threw the ball like a little leaguer who had just done a pixie stick and a capicola. The ball had no chance. It looked like it was going into the stands. The angle that I watched it live, I was like, I don't think I know where he threw it. The announcer paused. I don't know what happened. He missed the catcher by so much. The catcher didn't just went to go get the ball off of the backstop.
Well, watch the soft toss for the Red Sox game tonight. He's absolutely it's bad. He was about 10 feet away from Senga and tossed it way over his head.
So he's your DH moving forward.
He's going to end up at DH, and you're going to put Vientos at first until he gets over this. Like that's the issue. And the truth is, he's coming off of his hot start. His batting average is now hovering around 300, which you're like, it's not a big deal, except that he was up in 370 land. The other one, and this one just is weird, is Soto. Had a chance to catch. It looked catchable last night. The Aaron Judge ground rule double looked catchable, and he just kind of jogged over, let it bounce over the fence, and it just kind of was like, okay, that's a double, and it just gets things going. He half swung in a clutch position, I think it was in the 8th inning, where like he has a chance to actually do something with people on base. Half swung, second baseman for the Yankees has to make an incredible play, but he's not running to first. Like he's not hustling at all. And every game, every play, there's just no emotion on the guy. He's like the opposite of Jeff McNeil's Brechtian theatrical like anger. That it's like Jeff McNeil is like an Antoine Artaud stage play that has gone completely out of bounds. And at the same time, Juan Soto is like a minimalist production where you're just wondering if there's any emotion involved in what's going on. He was supposed to be on the open mic for ESPN. At the last second, he turned him down because he didn't want to take questions on a live mic about Aaron Judge. He had a great moment on Friday when the Yankees fans were booing him where he tipped the cap, a little trolling, that's fine. But then proceeds to go 1-10 for the whole series. Strikes out like 4 times. Something's wrong. He's not engaged. He's up right now in this game. He'll probably strike out.
I look at this and I think these are the contracts that he was wanting, but when you go from the Yankees to the Mets, you get paid all this money. I think you got to wait till after the All-Star break to really judge these things. It's just too much of a contract. I know you want to judge them early. I'm okay. I'm okay right now.
I have 765 million reasons why I want an immediate return on my investment. I will wait for a $25 million contract that's just buying me a year. Give you a little bit of time on that one.
I mean, this
756, like how long I got to wait?
I told you after the All-Star break, sometimes it takes a player a full year before they come back to themselves.
Then I want my money back for the year. I want a refund. I want my $75 billion or whatever we paid for this.
If he hits 360 with 20 home runs toward the end of the year and leads them into the playoffs, no one will remember what's happening now.
That's true, but when's it start? When's it start? You can 80 games in. We're 40 games in.
You can have him on your...
Who really is running out of time? Who's running out of time is the Baltimore Orioles, okay? Not the Mets. I mean, the Mets are tied for first. They're not running out of time.
You're correct. The
Mets just grounded out again. These guys just grounds out. He hit into a double play tonight with 1 out and guys in scoring position. It's like nothing's going on.
And the Mets sit at 28. What are they? 29 and 18.
They're mathematically eliminated.
Where most teams would love to be. I'm going to give him some time and space to let him figure it out. I think it's one of those deals where You just gotta. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. We don't quite know. We don't know if, like, he had a great summer, and there's a couple ladies that are thinking that they may have one of his several children. We just don't know how these things go in life.
What is wrong with you?
He could be married and having twins right now. You don't know. He could be having triplets. You don't know how this goes. We get a big contract,
Why
get a
is
big
your
house.
first reaction fatherhood? That like he's got babies on the way. Like that's
It's an emotional time for a man. And making them and then having to wait for them.
He's not expressing emotion. That's the problem.
Because it's all...
He doesn't need to go Jeff McNeil, but you can't be Spock.
That's fair. I agree with you. You're not making invalid points. I'm just saying you got to give him time. You got to
talk.
You got to
talk.
Got to give the man some time. So that's your 5. I think Alonzo and Soto are going to be on your list until he gets over the yips.
Well, he just struck out, so then now he's got the offensive yips too. So thanks for that.
All right. Well, you're at least he didn't ground out. So in our looking at players this year and seeing where we're at, I just wanted to give you an update on strikeouts because there are always good updates. And Dan, I know you were a very
Oh, I hate strikeouts if you're a batter.
I just want you to know something. There's a guy on this list who's playing in that game against the good old Mets who was a Rocky. Trevor Story is now 4th on the strikeout list. So if they would have kept Trevor Story, they could have 3 of the top 4 players on the strikeout list. Things that you could know and tell your friends on the water cooler. And first base and third base, the Colorado Rocky, the tandem, if you will. First base, Michael still leading all of Major League Baseball with 65. He's running away with it. He has 5 more strikeouts than the next player, who is 60, which is De La Cruz from the Reds, who we all love and enjoy. But then Ryan...
Well, they both each got a strikeout so far tonight. So it's 66 and 61.
So Ryan for Colorado, who was falling away, he has started to stop striking out. Well, he came back with a vengeance this week, everybody. He is now 3rd all alone at 59. I'm very proud of the Rockies and what they're doing as an organization. They continue to show us that with dedication and commitment, you too can have 2 players leading the Major League Baseballs and strikeouts.
Ellie De La Cruz, it mystifies me. But he's at least got 16 stolen bases. He's got 32 RBIs. He's got 8 home runs, 47 hits. He's batting 247, which in today's age is respectable.
The 2 Colorado Rocky players have 30 RBIs together.
Yeah. I dropped McMahon in fantasy, by the way.
I don't know why. He was just heating up.
Yeah, the screaming average of 205 wasn't doing it for me.
I can see that. Yeah, their averages are pretty bad. Brian Reynolds of Pittsburgh is also on this list. I'm shocked more Pittsburgh players are not up here because Pittsburgh can't score. But between the Pittsburgh player, the 2 Colorado Rocky players, you have a lot of strikeouts at a 203, 206, 209 average, and they aren't King Kong Kingman, as all 3 of those guys have 6 home runs. So you're not getting a lot, but you are getting a lot of strikeouts.
What's remarkable is Austin Riley for Atlanta at third base.
Yes.
He's batting 287.
With 57 Ks, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy to me.
And that's just what he's doing. It's crazy. You're right. Crazy times.
That kid James Wood, who's 57 strikeouts, he's a monster.
Yes.
Yeah, there's guys that are like Adam Dunn.
He's a big man.
He's 6'7", 234.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to tell you
that's a big strike zone.
Yeah, he ain't driving a Mini Cooper.
Going on to pitchers, because we all know the pitchers are fantastic. I don't know why the Orioles started Gibson at all. Kyle Gibson had not played in a while. He started his 4th game. He's 0-3. Because he started his 4th game, his ERA went up. It's up to a 16.78. His whip is up to a 2.92. Like, I know you fired the manager, but did the other guy come in and say, I also would like to be fired? Kyle Gibson, give me a start. Anybody want to help me out with that? I don't understand why the Orioles started Kyle Gibson. There's no reason to.
Because they fired their manager and the whole thing's a flaming turd pile. That's why.
Well, it could be one of those things where he says, listen, here's your chance. I haven't seen you suck. So go out there and don't suck.
Right.
Well, he didn't.
That blew that one.
Well, disabled list. When you got a veteran that you can't send to the minors, you disable him.
Aaron
and
Nola.
you bring up a AAA guy.
Aaron Nola.
Yeah, I could see that. That's a very, very true. Very, very true.
Last week, you reminded me, Todd, about the Diamondbacks' Eduardo Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the disabled list.
Shocking.
Suddenly, his elbow hurt. Not as much as a 7 ERA.
I have to give it up for the Rockies, though. The Rockies continue to pitch the guys that I love. Antonio. We should have theme music for him. Sensatella. He is now started.
Sensatella. Update.
He started 9 games this year, everybody. He's 1-7. He has 1 of the 8 wins, which means you got to play him the whole year. He has a 6.39 ERA, not too shabby, with a 1.99 whip because he loves letting people on base, but they don't score that often.
Oh my gosh.
And
How do you have this whip?
I did like the return of Clayton Kershaw. I know this is. I know I'm not a Dodger fan. I want to just put this out there. So I know he was a great pitcher. He is a future Hall of Famer. I think we can all agree on that. But Clayton Kershaw is, I think, his time and what they're going to do with him. He had a 1 start, 11.25 ERA with a 2 whip. He just 4 innings pitched. He's on a pitch count. Everyone's excited to have him back. I don't know if he's ever going to be pitching again in the playoffs, let alone in any meaningful games for the Dodgers ever again. This may be the last we see of Clayton.
He's just getting warmed up.
The Dodgers' starting pitching has been so weak. Well, they've been injured. A lot of guys injured that they've burned their bullpen out. When your starters are going 3 and 4 innings, the Dodgers have a great bullpen. But this weekend, that bullpen was in shatters. They're just overworked.
Dave Roberts loves to work the bullpen, by the way. Loves to work the bullpen. I'm just going through some game starters here to see anybody else who may ring it up.
How's your international man of mystery, Jermaine Marquise?
He also has started 9 games now. He has an 8.78 ERA. His whip's only a 1.83 though. He's 1-6. Oh. He didn't have a good week. But again, I can't blame him for not hitting. He doesn't hit anymore for the Rockies. I wonder if the Rockies want that pitcher rule back where the pitchers have to hit.
I would love that.
So between the two pitchers,
is that not a thing?
The 2 pitchers for the Rockies, that's 18 starts, and they are in the lead with the most starts and the highest ERAs and whips. It's rather impressive. The other guy, who is it? Freeland for the Rockies?
Yep.
Kyle Freeland.
Yeah, he's also an interesting guy. I'm trying to see where I find him.
If by interesting you mean a 1.62 whip and a 5.85 ERA, that's interesting.
It's
also
interesting.
0-6.
I think he's your ace.
Dollander.
Oh,
watch Dollander pitch.
Yes.
Yeah. Dollander had a no-hitter going in Texas, and yesterday he pitched a great game yesterday against the Diamondbacks. He only allows 1
wins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's their ace. You're right.
His ERA is a smattering 6.28.
But he's just getting started.
Yeah.
I do like how the Orioles have moved Charlie Morton into the bullpen, even though this time he came out after 2 outs and proceeded to pitch really, really well. He pitched really well and lowered his ERA to a 7.68 and his whip.
How many innings did how many innings did he pitch coming in the first?
He pitched them in the first. I think he got him to the 5th or 6th inning. I had to check my stats on that game, but I was very upset that Charlie didn't come in and also allow 6 runs in the first inning to make the new manager have to switch out 2 pitchers in 1 inning, which is always a treat for every manager.
Maybe I think we found out how to get Charlie going. You start a reliever to pitch the first inning, then bring Charlie in the second because after the first, he's got it.
Yeah, he's got to pitch 1 inning.
Well, yesterday he pitched what? 3 or 4 innings, right?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Well, I don't know.
Well, baseball's a funny game. One game means nothing. 1 week means nothing. You can even play off a bad month because it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Play off a bad 2 months as the Mets showed last year.
Well, last year it's a great example. That
Did
everybody wanted everybody fired, and all of a sudden Grimace came in and they were the best thing, only to be replaced by the Knicks.
Yep.
In New York's heart.
I want to give it up to some teams that are just kind of taking the baton and running, if they will. So in the core AL East, I do like the fact the Yankees are deciding that it's their time to take a bigger lead as they are now pulling 5 games ahead of second place. The Detroit Tigers and the Twins finally lost a game.
Real quick.
Yep,
Real quick about the Yankees. I said despite the injuries, they are going to finish in first place. Max Fried is going to step up and be the ace.
Max Fried's been amazing.
Cody Bellinger signing. I like Cody Bellinger. He's great. Awesome signing. And the Paul Goldschmidt.
And good.
Even though Keith Hernandez referred to him as elderly, he's found a new life at the plate.
I agree with all your takes have been proven to be true. Everything you said about the Yankees has been correct. There's nothing to say other than the rest of the AL East has not performed at all.
Correct.
But the Yankees are running away with that. The Twins finally lost a game. They had won, I believe it was 9 or 10 in a row. They, again, put themselves from like 4th place. Now they're in 2nd. Here's the funny part about their big run. They're only in 2nd place by like a half a game with Kansas City and Cleveland because that's the division. And Detroit's playing so well, they have...
You mean like they're only over 3rd and 4th place by half a game? They're not out of 1st place by half a game. Yeah.
No, yeah. Detroit is 5 games ahead of Minnesota, Cleveland, and the Rockies, and the Royals, basically. And the reason for that is all those teams are 26 wins and higher, 25 wins, 26 wins. And then the Detroit Tigers have 31 wins, have clearly been the cream of the American League.
Yeah, check your bingo card. Nobody had that.
Nope.
I did not as the best team in the American League, that's for sure. I thought they were going to win the division, but not like what we're seeing. Pitching and hitting. Seattle Mariners also have kind of taken a leap forward after a tough week the week prior. They're doing pretty good stuff there, and that AL West is pretty weak, everybody. Pretty weak. And nothing for nothing. I don't know what to do about Texas, but they can't score. It's consistent every week. I expect them to start doing something. It just doesn't happen. Mets and Phillies look like they're going to go back and forth, and the Braves are going to meet them up there, and it's going to be a 3-team race. Braves are now just 1 game over 500, but they're 5 games back, which is a lot, but eventually it feels like the Braves will get there.
You gotta think about the fact that the Braves basically started 10 games behind everybody else. That's the scary part.
I know.
That is the really scary part. What's their record after the first 10 games?
They were 2-8 after the first 10 games. So they're currently 24 and 23. So they were 22 and no, that's not right. They were 2-8.
Oh,
yeah. So they're 22 and 5. No, 22 and 15. 22 and 15. Yes, they're +7.
And they haven't played their best player yet.
Yep.
And we'll say, going back to your Max comment about the Yankees, he's clearly the Cy Young, right? So far.
Oh, yeah, not even close. He's dominating right now.
I think his whip is like a 0.6, 0.7. It's something crazy. His ERA is like a 1.
He's totally shut down.
The other team that I thought had a really good bounce back besides the Twins has been the Cardinals. They started off very rough this year. They are solidly in 2nd place. They're only 2 games back of the Cubs, and the Cubs started pretty hot. The Cardinals have played some really great baseball. They're 8-2 over the last 10, and they're beating some good teams. And I know they started off against some poor teams, but now they're starting to feel it. And the Cardinal fans should really be, really happy going to the ballpark. But the Cardinals and Cubs, that would be a great matchup. It looks like moving forward.
Yep.
The NL West is still the best. No, I shouldn't say that. NL West and the NL East both have proven to be exactly what we thought it was going to be. You have 3 teams in the NL West currently, all within a game of each other. Dodgers, Padres, Giants. Diamondbacks are only 4 games out. All of those teams are good. So you have 3 teams in the East, 4 teams in the West, and how many wild cards do we get?
3.
So you have 6 teams that make the playoffs, and right now what I have is you have 3 teams in the East, 2 in the Central, and 4 teams in the West. There's going to be some very good teams that are going to have above winning records this year and are not even going to sniff the playoffs for the National League.
Yeah, right now, if you look at the wild card in the National League, you've got the Phillies, the Padres, and Giants, with the Cardinals being 2 games out, Diamondbacks 3 games out, Braves 4 games out.
Think about if those 3 teams, Diamondbacks, Braves, and the Cardinals don't make it. Right now, I would say, wow, those are some good teams that didn't get in the playoffs.
And the winning percentages are .553, .532, and .511. Meanwhile, in the American League, teams that are 1 game out are Houston and Texas, and the Boston Red Sox and Toronto Blue Jays are tied, and those 2 teams have losing records.
Yeah, there's not a team that's not going to make it in the American League if this holds up that you're going to say, oh, they had a winning. They'll be like, oh yeah, they didn't make it. They didn't have a winning record. Why should they make it?
Basically, the top 3 wildcard teams right now are all in the Central.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing about the American League. I would have never thought that you're going to get all your wildcard teams from the Central.
Can you imagine 4 teams in the playoffs from that Central?
No.
Sweet.
That won't.
I'm all in on it. I love it.
It won't happen, but.
Dad, your Diamondbacks struggled against the Rockies. I wanted to get your temperature. I know you love them. You like to talk about how good things are. Todd is already talking about how bad they are. I want to remind both of you that Nolan sounds like both of you as Diamondback and Mets fans, as a Knicks fan. And when we started the podcast for the NBA, the Knicks were not looking so hot. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I'm not saying the Mets and Diamondbacks are going to meet there. I'm just saying all 3 of you have the same attitude about your team, which is why we have Badder Sports, which is, man, our team's not going to do anything. So, Dad, how is your temperature on this lovely day?
Well, we got a tire that's a little low on air, and that's the bullpen. The bullpen lost they had 2 closers sharing. Neither of them are pitching because they're hurt. So they've had to stretch these other guys out, and their bullpen is a total mess. Every day, there's like 2 or 3 guys in the bullpen who were in Reno the day before. They bring them up from Reno, they pitch them, then that night they send them back down and get somebody who hasn't pitched yet just to have a fresh arm. They brought up a kid from Reno as a long reliever. The starter wasn't going very well. He pitched 5 shutout innings. He was awesome. Half hour after the game, he was on a plane back to Reno so they could get a guy up who had a fresh arm for the next day. They literally are going day to day trying to find someone who didn't pitch in the last 3 days. The bullpen is like, hey, do you know who our closer is? Everybody's sitting down for this one? Shelby Miller.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's done a respectable job, but he ain't a closer. And
That's not
gonna last.
Are you concerned about Zach?
Yeah, Zach Gallen's not been good.
That's just lost on a double play and stupid.
Hey, some days you eat the bear, some days the bear eats you.
Well, how many days the bear going to eat you?
Relax. Listen to this.
Just so everyone knows, the Mets have an opportunity right now, as of today, to make the Batter 5. They are on.
Colorado's shutting out the Phillies.
Look at that. Can you imagine?
What?
One day, one of these
the
teams.
Third inning is 1-0.
One of these teams is going to be swept by the Rockies this year.
Yeah.
And we need to set. We need to prepare a Batter Sports gift basket for that team's front office after the sweep. That's what we need to do. You think no one's going to be swept by the Rockies this year?
No one's getting swept by the Rockies.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
You just went through the pitching. That not even makes sense.
Baseball's a game of luck. You know, a guy crushes it 400 feet to center field and you catch it, and then your guy comes up and bloops one over the first baseman's head and it's a double, and you win the game and you say, wow, you were totally outplayed, but that doesn't matter in baseball.
Oh, it's brutal.
Last night,
brutal.
the Diamondbacks, they got the last out with the bases loaded. The Rockies are up. And what's his name? The first baseman, Taglia?
Yep.
He hit a screaming line drive. And I said, that's a single. For sure, it's over the end. He didn't hit it high enough. He hit it right to the shortstop. But he hit it like 105 miles an hour. But this difference of 4 feet, the Rockies win 2-1.
Pete Alonso hit a ball tonight that was the highest and hardest hit ball in the StatCast era that was not a home run.
It got caught.
Hit the green monster.
Oh. Okay.
So the launch angle, it was still going up.
Oh, yeah.
When it hit the green monster.
It's impressive material.
So you said it was the highest.
It was the highest. It was a combination. The ball was hit off the bat at like 109 miles an hour, 113, something like that. And then it was because the launch angle, it was such a high launch angle. In any other baseball park, it's a home run.
Did it hit the fence and come back to second, hold it into a single?
Yeah.
He got thrown out at second, trying for a double.
Yeah, I could see that. Especially if you hit it that hard. Yeah, it's a perfect rebound. So back
proving to all you idealists, there's no such thing as justice. That's fiction.
Yep.
Zach Gallen, Dad. Is it
terrible?
Yes. Look at his stats. I don't know what I'm watching, but I don't like it. And he was terrible against the Rockies.
This is his free agent year. He doesn't have a contract in the year. He's blowing a lot of money if he doesn't get his act together.
But the pitching thing is all mechanics now. Something's happening where he's tipping his pitches or he's coming out at a different launch angle for different pitches. Those guys sit there with the iPads. They know every single one. So much of pitching now is you have to release it and it has to look the exact same as every single pitch. And the second that looks different, you're getting blitzed. Absolutely blitzed. So like a guy like Gallen, this may be just a simple mechanic. Turn your toe 2 centimeters in, and that might fix the whole thing. It's crazy.
You think people are just reading his pitches?
Yeah, I just think there's so much technology there with the film and the iPads. Everything is just.
He's not hitting his spots. He's walking too many people. He's going a 3-ball count to a lot of guys. Usually he places his fastball wherever he wants. He's just off. Not a lot, but he's missing the spots. And then he gets in trouble. It's crazy in baseball. You throw a pitch 2 inches the wrong way, and you go from a strikeout to a homer. I mean, It's crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
That's a part of the beauty of it. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed our weekly review and recap. As always, I am your host, joined by Dad. It's always great to have a conversation with you about baseball. And Todd, I feel for you and what you go through. I know you wish the Mets were 5 games up, and I know you wish Juan Soto was coming back to life. Many prayers for you as you go through this tough time of watching your multi-million-dollar athlete struggle.
Suffering is real.
Yeah.
So you make a T-shirt in the Mets colors, and you wear it to the game, and it just says, "At least we're not Baltimore."
It's true.
That is and then go to Baltimore where the tickets are low, low, low. All right, everybody. As always, I'm your host. Thanks, everyone, for joining.
Have a good one.
Bye.